Hello, how are we doing? Right, I'm rattling through these rattling through these collection videos, and it's Mega Drive today. So the Mega Drive I didn't have as a kid, but I played on one enough times. I was Master System Super Nintendo kid, didn't own one, but I did pinch one off a mate on a couple of occasions. Got to play quite a few of the games, and always had nostalgia for the Mega Drive. And why wouldn't you? 16-bit era. So yeah. My first Mega Drive game I ever bought was a loose cart, and it was NBA Jam. So big fan of this game. I can't remember why I bought it. This was a few years before I started collecting properly. Just saw it on eBay and picked it up. It was probably only, I don't know, a couple of quid. But I didn't have the means to play it or anything. I don't know. I've always had a finger in retro games, so maybe my brother was talking about getting a Mega Drive at the time, and jumped on and grabbed this. I do prefer the Super Nintendo version. I think it plays better on the SNES pad, and I'm not really keen on the music, the in-game music on the Mega Drive version. But yeah, I'd say stick with it. If you've not played this, then play the Super Nintendo version. It is better. So move on to the boxed. Right, starting with Mega Games 1, which has got, I mean, everyone knows what's on here. So you've got Super Hang On, got Columns, Italia 90. I've got all the manuals for these Mega Games, but I obviously can't fit them all in a box. I can't remember how they arrived to me, actually, now I think about it. I think they were all loose. I don't know, should they be able to fit in a box? I've always assumed not. They're just sitting loose on the shelf, but yeah, so Mega Games 1. Mega Games 2, which is definitely the strong, well, yeah, I'd say that's the strongest out of the three, to be honest. Those games really do speak for themselves, don't they? So yeah, Mega Games 3. Now the only one I really play on here is Alien Storm, which is a good underrated side scroller. Good game, I like that. Right, so the main collection. I had thought about moving some of those Mega Games on and kind of getting you know, the individual games that I like off them. But when I picked up those Mega Games, it didn't cost the world, and now it would cost quite a bit more, probably just to get the 2 or 3 games. Maybe yeah, maybe like four games that I'd want out of this set. It'd cost quite a bit more to have them all individual, so I'm probably not going to bother, to be honest. So next up, anyway, is needs no introduction. Streets of Rage 2. It's pretty nice nick, this one. I've put all the manuals in the protectors. Do I need to say much about Streets of Rage 2? I probably don't. Next up is Golden Axe 2. I've got to the end of this game and didn't quite manage to finish it, and I actually think that was the first time I played it, so it's possibly not the most difficult game on the system, but I would say that it's quite a upgrade on Golden Axe 1, which when I play it now, so it does feel quite dated. Next game is Altered Beast. Who was I talking to about Altered Beast? Someone had mentioned it. Obviously it comes up in conversation sometimes. I think it's my thoughts of Altered Beast. I played it on the Master System years ago as a kid. I think it's a good concept, not particularly well executed. I think, is that a fair assessment? I'm keeping hold of this because I would like to get the original early Mark 1 Mega Drive that came in there with the Altered Beast bundle. So I'm just keeping hold of the game in case I manage to source that variant of the console. Next game is Shadow Dancer. much prefer the Master System version of this, but this was one of the first games I picked up when I picked up a Mega Drive, just because I do like the franchise, and at some point I will sit and spend some time with this. Next Mega Drive game. This is probably the best conditioned Mega Drive game I've got. The lighting is not great. It probably won't do it justice, but it's Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Yeah, it kind of. I think, to be fair, the lighting here doesn't really capture it, but this was described on the eBay listing as really, really nice condition, and it really didn't disappoint. It was pretty mint when it turned up. I've not stuck a great deal of time into this. I think I'd probably play it on the main emulator first, but I always just associated this game very strongly with the Mega Drive, so there was never any question I was going to pick it up. I was an MJ fan as a kid, so yeah, at some point I will sit and play this through. Just a bit of a classic game for me, putting any sort of anything sort of back Michael Jackson to one side. It's just a game for me that's pretty synonymous with the system, and I'm happy to have that one. Right, next, this game came with, when I bought my Mega Drive, this came bundled with it. I wasn't expecting a lot from it, but it surprised me, and that's why it stayed in the collection. When I show it to you, there'll be no doubt that it's a good game, and it's not going to be news to you that it's a good game. But it's Aladdin. Yeah, good platformer. I'm not normally one for too many Disney titles and stuff, but this is a good game. I've had a few goes on it, and I'm sure I'll go back to it. Right, next is Robocop versus Terminator. So I think, to be fair, so I've not got any real big hitters in my collection, but there's not much obscure stuff either. So everybody knows, well, most people have at least heard about this game, if not played it, and it's a good game. I've not played the Master System version. Some people think that's better, but this is a good game. Typically, all the games in my collection, if I don't see myself coming back to them and playing them from time to time, then I probably won't hang on to them. So that's a game that I probably will definitely go back to. Although there are exceptions, and this is possibly one. First Mortal Kombat. I much prefer Mortal Kombat 2 on the Super Nintendo. Much prefer the Super Nintendo pad. I don't really see any reason why I would pick this up and play it, to be honest. I think I've got it for nostalgia, because a mate of mine had a Mega Drive and had it, and because this version's got the blood and the Super Nintendo version hasn't, that's why I was inclined to pick it up. And I didn't pay the world for this either, but if you're new to Mortal Kombat games, I would say Super Nintendo Mortal Kombat 2 is quite a fair upgrade on this one. But I suppose just for a bit of history, perhaps, it's a good game to have. Right, next is a pretty classic game which I've tested since I picked it up, maybe last year, but I've not really played it, and it is Strider. So yeah, classic Mega Drive game, but it's not one that I've put a lot of time into, so we'll be going back to it. Right, next is the one game I've got for the system that lacks a manual. So this, I think I paid 20, maybe 25 quid for this, and there was a listing of a copy of the game in similar condition with the manual, and it was probably 40-45 quid dearer. So tempted as I was, I couldn't justify it. So the game is Zombies. Case is in pretty nice condition. as I say, similar to the more expensive copy of the game that's on eBay with the manual. I just couldn't justify it. Since looking online at the manuals on eBay, I'm not sure. I think the manual probably fits quite a fair bit as well. So if the point in time comes when I do try and grab a manual for it, I don't know. I'll probably end up playing, unless I get lucky, probably be paying, I don't know, near enough what I would have paid for the mint in box copy. But we'll just see how it goes. Right, next, this is a game that I picked up in a game shop when I was in Northampton. So it's Mechs. This has got a mode. The Mega Drive has got a mode. Mega Drive version of this game's got a mode that other variants haven't, and it plays quite nicely. I've not put a lot of time into it, but it's not bad. As I say, be one I go back to. Right, next is probably the last game I picked up for the Mega Drive. It was a cheapie, found it quite cheap online, and it is Wrestle War. I fully expect this game to be pants, but I think at £6, see, sometimes that's what I paid for it. I think it was £6. Sometimes just the spine and the cover art does it for me. As Retro Chef said on one of his videos recently, the Japanese version has got Hulk on the front, Hulk Hogan, so if I ever found that at a decent price, I'd probably be tempted to grab that as well. Right, we're over halfway in, so keep rattling through them. Next game is XMen. I find this quite hard. I've probably only got it in the collection because I was an XMen fan, and yeah, just I don't know. Maybe I'm just shit at it. I'm not sure what the case is, but I find it quite hard. But it'll be going nowhere because, well, yeah, as I say, like XMen, and how many sort of. I don't have a Saturn. I haven't got the more expensive sort of XMen games from the 90s. This one will do. So I'll keep hold of that. Next up in the same vein is SpiderMan. A lot of nostalgia for this. This is a game I used to hammer on the Mega Drive, and the Master System and Game Gear versions as well, which are both slightly different. Speaking of balls hard games, this is fucking solid, this game. It's one of them games that's so bloody hard. I mean, even with the cheats. So, as playing this as an adult, I've gone on Google and I've looked at cheats, and I will use the cheats because I wanted to see more of the game that I'd never seen. I'd made it to, I don't know, second or third level as a kid and never saw any of the rest of the game. So, yeah, the cheats are going in, and I've got to the very end, and even with the cheats, so I can keep replenishing my life, I cannot beat the Kingpin. It's just a very fiddly bit at the end where Mary Jane's being lowered into, I think she's been lowered into like a fire, and you've got to deal with the Kingpin, and you've got to try and save her, and it doesn't matter how many times I top my life up, I can't finish it. I can't finish the game. I'll keep trying though, because I do like it. It's the heat detection's a bit off, but it's just a very nostalgic game. Not a charm, very comic booky. Yeah, like it. But I would probably say that I prefer the Master System version. Right, bit of a blue spine up next. So it is Earthworm Jim. Not really a game I played a lot as a kid. Not really a lot of game I've put a lot of time into as an adult either. I think there's quite a lot to the game. So it's one that I think maybe set, I don't know, a few nights aside and put a bit of time into that and see what it's all about. Next is a game that I thought that teacher to make a big tower of games. It's they've all gone fucking flying, but never mind. Right, next up, yeah. So this is a game I played as a kid, and it is Skitching. This to me, I thought this was a bit of a hidden gem. Well, until I started going on YouTube and hearing about it. So possibly not much of a hidden gem, but if you haven't played it and you like Road Rash, it's kind of like Road Rash but on roller skates. Not really much else to say about it other than that. Just a bit of nostalgia for it, and yeah, good game. Right, if I root around amongst the carnage that's taken place here, I will rattle off the last 1, 2, 3, 8. There's 8 left. So the first is Premier Manager, which I picked up cheap. I've tried to play this game a few times. I'm a Manchester United fan, and I've started the game as Man U and lost heavily to Liverpool each time in the opening fixture and got the ump and turned it off. So I'm not expecting this to be, you know, like a real deep football management simulator, but I just wanted something to, you know, a quick game to chuck in and play a few games. But yeah, I keep getting hammered by Liverpool and keep turning the computer off. So yeah, we'll see how long that game hangs around in the collection. Next is Micro Machines Turbo Tournament 2, complete with so it's the J cart with the additional controller ports. Got the manual. It's got the winning certificate, a little pad of them, and the invites. There might be. It's not happening for me today. So yeah, this might not be familiar to everyone, but you did get a pack of invites. So you'd be inviting your mates to come along to your house and play a Micro Machines 2 video game tournament. And then yeah, there was a winner's certificate as well. So yeah, pretty charming, all that stuff. And Micro Machines, classic little couch, sofa, settee, whatever you want to call it, multiplayer game. I think good fun. Right, next game is Jimmy White's Whirlwind Snooker. Another cheapie, another blue spine. And I don't mind snooker games. I just wanted to try it. I think I picked this up out of curiosity more than anything, but not played it yet. So. Right, next game. I was after a hockey game, and I did a little bit of reading up to see what a decent 16-bit hockey game was, and generally speaking, all the reviews pointed to this, NHL 94. I have had a go of it and struggled a little bit, but there's obviously a bit of a learning curve. The big old chunky manual on this one. There is a learning curve, and I'll, you know, at some point, I'm sure I'll stick some time into it and see how I get on. Right, next is another cheapie, another cheap sports title, and it's Fever Pitch Soccer. So the reason I bought this is because I'm sort of trying to play my way through a lot of football games, because I'm after, to me, what's the most sort of accessible, pop it in and play arcadey football game. I'm not really a fan of FIFA and stuff, all the modern stuff. It doesn't really do it for me. I'm kind of looking for that the sort of NBA Jam equivalent of a football game. This seems alright. It is a flawed game, but yeah, a bit more you know, put some more time into it, see what I think. But first impressions were okay, although it's a bit flawed. I'll probably say more about this another time, because, as I say, I'm on a bit of a mission to find the sort of what my go-to football game would be. I would say probably at the moment, Mario Smash Football on the GameCube would take some beating. I've heard Sega Soccer Slam's decent as well, but I've yet to get my hands on that, so yeah, we'll see. Right, 3 more. This one needs no introduction, and it is Road Rash 2. This is in nice nick. Another big chunky EA manual. And this scratches my road rash itch. There's no, I'm not really inclined to get the first one. I think this will do. Never played 3, so yeah, happy to stick with this. This has got the codes, I think, isn't it, for the like the save codes or whatever. I think I've got quite far into this and got the codes written down somewhere, probably on my phone. But it's been months and months and months, so I should probably go back and see where I got to. So yeah, Road Rash 2. Next is Space Harrier 2. Space Harrier I used to play on my dad's Atari ST, and I used to play that a lot. This version's not my favourite version of the game, but I paid a decent price for it, and it's okay. It is okay. I think ultimately I'd like to get Road Rash. I'd like to get Space Harrier for the Master System, Space Harrier 3D. I think that'd be good. Just the price at the moment of the 3D glasses is putting me off quite a bit. So this will do until then. Probably move it on. This game is kind of hanging on with me by the skin of its teeth. Been thinking about moving it on for a while. Just because if I get the first Space Harrier, then that's probably going to be the one I play, and this one will kind of just get forgotten about, to be honest. So I'd rather move it on. But we'll see. And the final game, and this has been my first exposure to this. Actually, I've never played a game of this title before, and it is Lemmings. So I had a Spectrum as a kid. I didn't play Lemmings. Yeah, this version's the first time I've ever tried to play the game, and I suppose again it's going to be a bit of a learning curve. And I don't know. This isn't the. I don't suppose this is the best version of the game. I'm sure it's not bad. But I got this out in the wild anyway. I was out shopping with my bro, younger bro. So if I was to move this on, I'll just send it his way, I think. But yeah, I'm not sure. It's either one of them that's going to sit there and never get played, or if I'm going to get anything out of it, obviously I'm going to have to spend a bit of time with it and learn it and stuff. Again, I'm not sure how feasible it is to play a game like this with the control pad, with the Mega Drive control pad, rather than the keyboard. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But this is another one that's possibly in a bit of danger of getting moved on. So that is it. That is it for the Mega Drive. There's a couple more I'm after, but I will buy them as and when. But yeah, it's nice to make these collection videos, sort of document what I've got, look back at it probably one day, and there might be a few changes and stuff. But that is it for Mega Drive. Next up will probably be Super Nintendo, and we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Back again with a Super Nintendo one, more than likely. And yep, see you on the next one. Cheers.